What is good, NIO family? It's Rey-Jay back with another video, and in this one I'm going to be talking about the one and only NIO stock and what you should be looking after for the future. I'm also going to break down what's going on with the overall market, how this may affect NIO, and what catalyst is coming out very soon that will affect how the share price moves. Now, before I break anything down about what this catalyst is, how the debt ceiling may affect NIO, because we have a very big update coming out very soon from President Joe Biden, I do have to mention a couple of things before starting. Firstly, I am not a financial planner, so take none of this as financial advice whatsoever. And also, if you guys can, please smash the like button if you want to see more videos like this. It not only benefits me, it benefits the entire NIO community as a whole. And the last thing is, if you guys can, please check out the Moomoo link down below in the description. If you sign up for Moomoo with the link down below and deposit $100 into the account, you're guaranteed up to 10 free stocks, each worth up to $2,000. And the best part is that it can be a free NIO share. The offer is almost over, guys, so check it out before they run out. With that out of the way, let's get on with the video. Alright, NIO was up 0.27% for the day. In my previous video, I told you guys that we had a bullish divergence developing on NIO. We're likely going to get a very nice bounce very, very soon. Now, if you look at NIO, we had this bullish divergence, and we got this bounce from $7. A lot of buying pressure came in, and lots of algo started buying. And NIO did make the move I was talking about. NIO pumped all the way up to almost $8, right? We opened at almost $8. We got this one spike. And then this would have been a very good opportunity to just take profits. Not financial advice, by the way. But then what happened to NIO was it ended up lacking some strength, and we had this unfilled gap right here. And then NIO started selling off a little bit as the day went on. It still held above 7.5, and it was green, but it's showing some signs of weakness right now. That's because deliveries were not the best. I will talk more about deliveries tomorrow, but I want to break down something else that's super huge right now. So President Joe Biden is going to be signing the debt limit bill. This is super important because you have to recall the debt ceiling is not out of the way just yet. We're not done with this just yet because, first off, Biden and McCarthy had an agreement. The agreement was taken care of, so it passed to the House. The House passed it, then the Senate took care of it yesterday. The Senate passes it, but it's not done yet. All that's left would be Joe Biden signing the bill. And what I'm trying to tell you is this event isn't over, and the market has been pumping in anticipation of the event. Typically, when stuff like this happens, we could see what's known as buy the rumor, sell the news. Market sells off once the event actually comes out after pricing everything in beforehand. That's very possible, and it's very likely that this could be happening again. Now, we'll have to wait and see for confirmation before making claims like that, but I want to just warn you guys about that. In the morning, NIO got quite a bit of buying pressure, 61 million in volume, but it slowed down as well, dropping on high volume. It tends to be a weak signal. The short volume is still relatively high relative to price. And then looking at the data, NIO has a low price price ratio. It tends to be green about 49% of the time on Mondays, not that strong. And finally, the short interest is going up just a little bit. We saw more shares being shorted. That's very important and very important to note. So just be careful with that. But going back to the share price, I just want to warn everyone that SPY, for example, is very close to its top resistance. We broke 427.5, which is awesome, incredible. But here's the problem. We had this resistance between 428.5 to about 429. We got stopped at about 428.74. It is possible for us to get one more pump, like one more small pump, and then start to see downside, or we're likely just going to start rejecting from here and just start cooling off. It's looking more like that, in my opinion, looking at the MACD. Also, the RSI is at 80 on the hourly. That's crazy. It's a very, very overbought position we're in. On the daily, it's close to like 65, I think, the last time I checked, 66.5. So, wow, we are very overbought. I could see us pumping either a little bit more and then starting to dump a bit, or we might just start cooling off from here just to cool off our RSI in a very technical way. This depends on how the market responds to Joe Biden, but the odds are starting to favor some downside, especially for the tech sector. Tesla's daily chart looks bullish overall, but on the smaller time frames, we got a 1 hour crossover on the PPO. And also Tesla rejects off this resistance, I'm talking about at the 217 zone. Specifically, 217.83 tends to be where Tesla gets lots of rejections. It rejected off 217.24 today, and it ended up just cooling off a bit. Now, we didn't break this heavy resistance, and we did close just under our support at 214. If Tesla continues to break down, if if it falls below 212.5, it's going to make its way down to 210. That's where we have this imbalance. Could it bounce one more time to 220? If the market gets a very positive reaction to Biden signing the bill, maybe we get one more pump and then we dump, or we just dump from here. Either way, it's looking like the market needs to cool off just a bit. I also want to add that on the QQQ, we're getting a bearish cross on the 1 hour time frame for now. But what's bigger is this bearish divergence that's developing right now. The same thing exists on the NASDAQ. On the 4 hour time frame, you can see it very clearly, right? Bearish divergence. If the market rejects and we see the QQQ break below 353, we're most likely going to make our way down to 350. It's extremely likely, okay? If it fails to hold this support. But we need confirmation of the rejection first. There's no sign of it yet. We are getting some signals suggesting we're going to slow down a bit. We'll have to wait and see for now. Like I said before, always important to be cautious and very, very patient. But seeing how overbought we were on the smaller time frames, it seems very likely that that's going to be the case. And for the NASDAQ, which will affect NIO, check this out. Let me use the 4 hour for this so you can see this easily because I have to zoom out a lot. I think it's right. Hold on. It's right here. So the RSI was at 78 to 79 at some point, right? This was back when this thing was around the 12,269 level. The RSI reached a peak today of about 77. It hasn't broken past that. My point is there is technically a bearish divergence developing on the NASDAQ. There's no signal of it selling off yet looking at the momentum right here. So it's not selling off yet. There's still some possibility of it pushing a little bit more. But if it remains in this bearish stance and we don't really get the move I'm looking for, right? If we don't pump enough to invalidate the bearish divergence, then we're likely going to see some downside. If it starts rejecting, that's going to be a signal for an even bigger pullback. It's going to be massive. I'm not saying it's going to be massive, but it's going to be significant. You could see the same thing on the hourly time frame. Look at the RSI. Same thing is developing right here. You could even zoom in and see it's like a triple negative divergence. It's all pointing in the direction that we might see a cool off. Completely normal because we are overbought on the 1 hour time frame. So what does all of this tell us? The market could try to bounce a little bit. Maybe NIO tries to get one more bounce off the dead ceiling NIOs and then we just start selling off. Or NIO could sell off a little bit thanks to the market. We got a bearish cross in the 1 hour time frame. We might see a little bit of choppy price action. I'd watch this 7.5 support very carefully. If that fails at us, we have this imbalance at 7.26 that could get retested. Now that's the more bearish case. If we're bullish, we could break 7.8 and 7.99. But for now, the odds are favoring NIO either bouncing a little bit and seeing some downside or just selling off a little bit thanks to the markets. That's what the odds favor thanks to Joe Biden signing the deal, signing the bill. And we'll have to see what happens after that. For now, do not forget the phrase, buy the rumor, sell the news. Okay? Don't forget it. That's what I have for this video. I just wanted to make this as clear for everyone. Biden will be signing this before June 5th, if not as soon as tonight. I have some merch for you guys if you're interested in buying anything from like a Money is Calling shirts to a Buy the Dip tank top or shirt. And also don't forget about the Moomoo link. The offer ends very soon. Put in $100 and you're guaranteed up to 10 free stocks. All right, guys, so that's my update on NIO for the day. Thank you all for listening. I'm just reading the technicals. I'm not trying to be biased here. This is just what the charts are telling us. And it's best to be prepared for anything, but simultaneously take these charts and these warnings very seriously. All right, thank you for listening. Have a good one. NIO in the market to the moon as the long term is still incredibly bright. And peace out.